this meeting it will be recorded and I will make it available for public. So I will show you later where I'm going to be posting this meeting. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. My name is Robert Gabriel, and welcome to the ICD 10 Talk Q&A 10 days after ICD 10. We getting a lot of confirmation that things are going good, but some people are having minor issues, very small issues that's causing rejections. So I want to go through them, I want to address them, and so this way no one is getting rejected and no one is losing any revenue. Just a disclaimer, anything you learn in this meeting or any other meeting by me or anybody else that participate in those talks, it's up to you to verify the accuracy of that information. Microice cannot be held responsible for any loss of data or legal cost. This is my contact information. I would like you to participate and ask questions in this meeting. So this way, I'm able to help everybody at the same time and have everybody learn from the same questions. So let me go first over the most common issues that I'm seeing, and I'm going to show it twice. I'm going to show it in Medisoft and I'm going to show it in Lytec. It's the same exact issues that I'm seeing over and over again. Number one is if you go to diagnosis, and if I search for 813.42. Now, if you look for this code, if I look for ICD-9, ICD-10, now I want you to notice a few things. See, this screen here, it's really nothing. I want to slice the screen and explain it to you, and it's the same thing in Medisoft and Lytec. Whatever code is in here is, you cannot change it, but doesn't mean anything, not much. This code here doesn't mean anything. This is just a code number. It could be anything you want. What's most important is this code. If you're sending a claim before October 1st, or for an insurance company that doesn't take ICD-10, and this code. So those are the codes that goes out. Let me show you the same thing on Medisoft. Okay, it's this code. It means nothing to me. It can mean something, but we're not really training people to use this code at all. This is an internal code. I don't care what it is. It could be XYZ. Has nothing. It can have nothing to do with your ICD 9 or 10. Okay. This is really this is how we're training everybody. What's in here or what's in here. So this doesn't mean anything. So where a lot of the mistakes are, people will see this as an ICD 9 and they get confused, say, wait a minute, I'm entering an ICD-10, but I'm still seeing an ICD-9. And sometimes people, they put an ICD, they enter their own code, they put an ICD-10 here, but it doesn't go out as ICD-10. And that's the most common mistake that I'm seeing where people are doing that. So I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about. So I already did the data entry for you, so I don't have. So I entered the same thing 3 times. See, I entered, sometimes it depends on who adds the code. It was the code added from your EMR or like Medisoft Clinical or Lytec MD. Was the code added from Encoder Pro, or was the code added by the mapping utility inside your Medisoft or Lytec, or was the code added, you added it yourself? Doesn't matter how it was added. This is what's most important. In here, if you're sending a 9, what's in here if you're sending a 10? Now, my rule of thumb is, look in here. When you see a red flag, the line that has the red flag is the line that has the problem. I'm going to show you how to fix that. So why I'm not having a red flag here is because this code here, whatever that code is, If I'm sending a 9, that's what's going to go out. If I'm sending a 10, that's what's going to go out. So really, this could be anything. So now I repeated the same exact code in a different way. See this here? It looks like an ICD-9 to me with an A in it, but really behind the scene, this is the code that's going to go out, and this is the code that's going to go out. If it's a 9, this is if it's a 10. Now, on the other hand, this code is a problem. Why? Because it doesn't have an ICD-10. If this day of service was before October 1st, then it's okay. If this day of service is after October 1st, then that's where the problem is. The same exact thing inside your Lytec. Okay, so I did the same exact thing in Lytec, and it's the same scenario. Okay, you have a red flag here, so this is because this does not have an ICD-10. Okay, and those two same code were entered two times, two different ways. Doesn't matter what's in here. It really matters what's in here, and it matters what's in here. Now, I'm saying it doesn't matter what's in here and what's in here. It depends. Of course, we trained everybody to set their insurance company as following. We set everybody to set up the insurance company in Medisoft and Lytec like this. We told you to make this an ICD-10 or leave it as ICD-9. The only time that you can use that code if you set up your insurance company as nothing, you leave it blank. So here we'll say code. Let me do it by hand. If you go to your insurance company in Medisoft or Lytec and change this from ICD-10 to a code here, Lytec doesn't have a code, but you can remove the date. Then that will send whatever is in the code field. We never trained anybody to do it that way. Just to stay consistent with everybody, we don't want you to do it this way. But if you do it that way, it's what's in the code is going to go out. You know how you see how I have my screen is divided into three sections here? I have my code, I have my ICD-10, I have my ICD-9. That's the only time that the code is going to go out if I set up my insurance company to code, not 9 or 10. We never train anybody to do it that way. I'm just showing you because if you entered thousands of codes and you didn't fill your 9 or 10, instead of going back, if you switch your insurance company to code, then that will work. We're not advising it, so we want to be consistent in our training. So I start to see some questions coming in. So so either raise your hand or I will unmute you and have you speak your question yourself. That will be the best way. If not, then you can ask the question. You can type the question. I'll do my best to answer. So this is the number one. I don't see any questions yet, by the way. So if you can please raise your hand or uh, uh, type the question, I'll read it for you. The other problems that we're seeing is uh, the codes are not going out to the insurance to the clearinghouse. So if the codes is not going out to the clearinghouse, you probably your EDI receiver, which is it must be of course the NC 5010 format. Your it's not up to date. So if you go to print send, when it opens up quick. You might not see it. The latest version that actually came out on Friday, it's 380. So if you go here and you do about, this is the, I'm not sure yet what is in the 380. This was a new update. I did not read yet what changed. Uh, but 377 was the lowest version that can send ICD-10, and now we have 380. So if you update today, you'll have 380. A lot of the questions that we get in is my code is not going out as 10. So if it's 377 or later and it's not going out as 10, then your configuration is wrong inside your EDI receiver. So under communication, there's something here that you need to change. I will If anybody needs that, I'll send you the steps of how to do that. I just don't want to take up your time here. I see a hand was raised, so let's see who that is. Okay. Uh, Shigaf, Shigafta? Okay, I see you on a microphone. I don't know if you can talk. I don't know if your microphone is connected. So if you have to have your microphone connected or dial in through the phone, please. So I guess you're not. Okay. So I see another hand. Renee? Uh, Renee, I think you did not dial in through the phone. So unless you have a microphone connected, you know, otherwise you need to write your question. Okay. Laura? Laura?
Can you hear me? Yes,
Yes.
Robert, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I don't have a question as much as a comment to the other doctor's offices.
Okay.
I would be very careful when you're sending your ICD-10 codes because with their medical policies, some of them are not acknowledging. Say, for an example, there's one ICD-10 code for psoriasis. That's my office. Now there's 5 under ICD-10. Some of these
Can you
insurance
can
companies,
you give me which ICD-9 is that?
yes, 696.1.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So let's do this live.
Okay.
6
696.1.
point 1. Okay.
Okay.
So
So this is a
I opened this code here. Okay. Now I'm going to show
okay.
you here. I'm going to use Encoder Pro. Encoder Pro is a great product for this. If I click on 10, go ahead, explain to us.
Okay. The correct code is the L40.0 in which we're billing our patient. That is the correct ICD-10 code.
Okay.
Now, Aetna, for an example, is not accepting that code. Their medical policies have been updated and they're not accepting that particular code.
That's a
They're
great
being
question, Laura.
extremely specific. Yes, it's not a question. I just
Okay,
wanted to make
no,
a
it's a
comment to
great
the
comment, and
offices.
the difference is CMS Safe Harbor is saying if you use Medisoft and Lytec mapped 696.1 to L40.0 because it's unspecified. It's the one-to-one mapping. It's the what's called the gem code. Medisoft or Lytec did not add the L40.1 and the L40.2 and the point 3. This is the one part that I was always afraid of. If the commercial insurance company don't honor the safe harbor of CMS, so
Aetna is not honoring
yeah, if they
the safe
rejecting
harbor.
it, then they're not going with the safe harbor with CMS. They keep saying CMS said that, and they're following everything CMS is doing, but I guess nothing. They're not following something that will give you a break for another 12 months. So what does that mean? Is you need to be specific, and to be specific, you need to add more additional codes like the point one and a point two and a point three. And really, the provider is the one that needs to know which code that is. Okay, so that's a great comment, Laura, and I appreciate you because that's going to be my biggest fear and the biggest rejection for commercial is when we're sending the unspecified and now we're going to get rejected for unspecified code.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Renee? Uh, Renee still no connection. Okay. Liz, I see Liz is coming, but I don't think you put a pen. I'm going to try to send you a pen and see if that will work. So, okay. So now I see, okay, everybody else that raised their hand, I'm not seeing you are Yeah, you have a microphone or a phone. Okay. How do I update to 380? Okay. So if you are, you can do this at any time. If you're using Medisoft or Lytec, when you do Revenue Manager, you can update your EDI receiver by going uh, to, however you bring your Revenue Manager on the screen. So if you come here and you say, all right, I'm doing electronic claim to whatever clearinghouse, and you're seeing Revenue Manager on the screen. So when this screen comes up, you're going to click on Help, and you're going to hit Check for Update. So it's going to go and hit Check for Update. When it finds an update, you need to close your Medisoft or Lytec. You need to close everything from the background before you continue. Now, if you are on a remote desktop, like if you have multiple offices, or you remote to the office of your server, do not do this on your remote desktop connection or terminal server or anything like that. You have to be local on your computer, the server. I'm assuming you logged into the server to do this on physically local on the server. You cannot do it through terminal server. If you are in a small network, there's no multiple location, and your server is in the same location as your computer, then that's when you do this by going that update. So do not do your own update on a terminal server, and that will give you the latest version. Okay. So thank you, Debbie, for your question. Okay, Darlin is asking, since I updated Friday, I cannot retrieve my current reports. Okay, so I'm assuming you updated your revenue manager. You cannot update your current report. Call support if you have support, and they'll fix that for you. If you don't have support, you can post the question on our portal. And so if you go to microeyes.com, you need to have a login name to do that. So this section here of the microeyes.com, it's called the forum. You need to log in, and when you log in, you will be able to put your own question or respond to a question. If you just reading questions and answers, then you don't, it's open for the public. I have a section here on IC10, and I'm trying as much as possible to list everything that I get with the answers, uh, and trying as much as possible to respond to those questions. So if you have your own username and password, you will be able to ask your question here and elaborate on your question and hit submit. Then, either somebody at Microwise will respond, or one of your other users, your other practices, if they know the answer, they're also allowed to respond to you. So, okay, I see a hand. Uh, okay, I think it's Josefa. Josefa, hello.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, you're on the air.
Okay. Hi, Robert. Quick question. What would be the best way to handle for claims, let's say November, December for services before 10/1/2015 under
Okay,
ICD 9? Like, what would be the
very
best
very good
default way to
question.
do that?
Okay, if you always enter your transaction the way I showed you here, when you enter a code that has both a 9 and a 10, just like this one here. See this code here? It has
Uh-huh.
both. It has the 9 and a 10. So based on the day of service, it will send out the 9 if it's before October 1st, and it will send out the 10 if it's October 1st or after. So if you always do it with a code that has both, then you know it's transparent to you.
Okay. Now, but in the insurance setup where we defaulted to ICD 10, would that make any difference?
Well, of course, it makes a difference, but I'm assuming that you set up ICD 10 to October 1st. So everybody has October 1st effective date. You see, when it's
Oh,
blank
okay.
like that, it's bad. So if you can you cannot leave it blank. It has to have a date in both Lytec and Medisoft. So all of them, they should look like this, October 1st.
Okay.
And
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. And in Lytec, it looks like that. Now, when you go to Lytec, I'm sorry, not mapping. When you go to Lytec, every time you go to Lytec, you're going to see a new date here. Don't worry about the date here. What matters is the date here. As long as you have, I'm sorry, the date here. As long as you have a date here, then you are okay. Okay. So thank you
Okay.
for the question.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sherry? Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah,
You're the
can you
first
hear
one.
me?
Yeah, you're the first one with the microphone today. Go ahead. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay.
When I'm using my EMR clinical, it's even though the ICD-10s are showing up, it's not crossing over. Some of them cross over as 10, and some are crossing over as 9, and I cannot figure out the reason why.
Okay, so tell me a little bit more. What's your definition of crossing over?
Like say, all right, say B35. Well, that 35.1
First, I'm
is
using Medisoft or Lytec.
in Medisoft.
Okay, in Medisoft. So let me just switch so we can have it as interactive as possible. And what code are you using?
I'm going to do off the top of my head because I remember this one. B35.1.
Is that an ICD-10?
That's an ICD-10, yes.
Okay, what is it?
B35.1.
B25.1.
35.
Oh,
35.1.
B35.1. Okay. Now, notice this code here. If I edit this code has a code, a 10, and no 9. So it
Okay.
will be okay to use it for date of service is after October 1st, but you cannot use it for date of service before October 1st, because I have this blank. Now, if this area is blank here, then you cannot use it. You cannot use it, period, for October 1st or before October 1st. So it has to have
So
something. Yeah.
should I remove the ICD-9s because they're coming over they come over as 9 um, from clinical to the Medisoft. They're
So
coming.
when they come from clinical, they're going to look like this. Okay, so if you come from clinical, it's going to look like this. It's going to have the same ICD-10. The code
Mm-hmm.
is going to look like an ICD-9 with an A and a B and a C and a D next to it, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
But when you open this code, you're going to see a 9 and you're going to see a 10. So it doesn't
Right.
matter what is in here on the screen. What matters is
Oh.
behind the screen.
Oh, so if it's okay, so if it's showing the 9 and it's input correctly in the computer as a 10, it'll go through as the 10.
Yes, exactly. You don't have it.
Oh, okay.
Medisoft Clinical EMR and Lytec MD really exceeded my expectation and how elegant they handle the ICD-10. So when
That's pretty cool. Okay, great. Thank you. I've been manually changing them while it's been time consuming, but now I know I get it. Okay, great. Thank you very much.
when the code is coming in from the note, from the crosswalk, it's doing the work for you. It's pushing even if you never had that code existed in your Medisoft or Lytec, it's pushing it for you. So it's really, they did a great job with that. You're not gonna hear me saying that so many times, uh, but they really did a great job with that. But it's a great question because that's the most common confusion that we have, where people looking at the code and say, "Wait a minute, it's a 9 and it has an A. It looks like a 9 to me." And if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. No, it's not. It really what's really behind it. It's this and it's this. If
Okay.
that's really important. Thank you so much for bringing
Oh,
the question up. Okay.
thank you.
Um, okay. So the next question is hello. Next question. I see Liz still have no. Okay, I'm going to read a few questions since we have no more hands. I don't think we have more hands. Uh, Okay, so the next question is from Renee. Renee Fishwacker is saying, so if Medisoft does not have ICD-10 code, then we have to enter ICD-10 code. Yes, that is correct. And I recorded a session for you on how to do that. So if you go to microeyes.com, so let me just take you through here. If you go to microeyes.com, I had it for both products, Medisoft and Lytec. So if you click on products and you go to Medisoft or Lytec, so if when you click on your own product, you're going to see a banner like this. It's called the free Medisoft ICD-10. You click on that, and when you get to that, is I have all the checklist for you here on all the things that you need to take care of. So adding additional code is a video that I did. It's a 10-minute video, and I'm showing you here how to add codes with Encoder Pro, how to add codes with Codes on Disk, or add it manually. I did not know how good Encoder Pro is. So if you don't have Encoder Pro, it's only $149. It's going to help you tremendously. So if you don't own Codes on Disk and you need to add more than 50 codes, please buy Codes on Disk. You will need it, especially that commercial is not honoring the safe harbor. It's going to be a great investment for you. So Encoder Pro will help you add those codes, and this video shows you how to use Encoder Pro to add it. Thank you, Renee, for this question. The next question is coming from Darlene. Okay, so you're welcome. The next question is from Kwana. Where will you post the step for updating the communication in Revenue Manager? Okay, yes, I will. I will do that. I will post to you the screenshots of doing that. So if it's not connected, okay, no, the 377 and 380, that's easy. I showed you that already. So all you have to do is just go to your, if you're not on the remote desktop, if you're not like logging in remotely from a different location. So I showed you that. I'll show you again. When you have Revenue Manager open on the screen, however which way it is, you open your Revenue Manager. You know what? Let me just do it in Lytec this time. So in Lytec, you open it like this. You go to billing, and you open your Revenue Manager like that. So when you open your Revenue Manager, it might go too fast. You don't see the update, but it's if you don't see it, then okay, it's having problem that me having Revenue Manager for both Medisoft and Lytec, so it's not gonna do it because it opens up, because I have them on both on the same computer. You're not gonna have that, but you will set for check for updates, and it will check for updates, or you can just go to help and hit check for update. So inside the help of Revenue Manager, there will be something called check for update, and it will go on check for updates. When you start this, you gotta close everything, your Medisoft or Lytec behind. You can't leave it open. Okay. So if you, the part that I said I'm going to post, we get in some complaints that even that after setting up your 380 or 377, the indicator is still going out as a 9. And if you're sending a 10 and you have your update and it's still going out a 9, we found a few people have the Revenue Manager was missing a part. It needs to have an edit updated or link updated. So if you have that situation, call support, they'll help you. Or if you don't have support, post it there, and I will post the answer for you on the forum. The other thing that we get in complaints about, let me show you that in Medisoft. That fix is, okay, so let me show you that in Medisoft. A lot of people, when they were submitting claims, they come at the last moment and they print the report. And that report will not show ICD-10, will only show ICD-9. Okay, this is not a real practice. This is all fake patient and fake transactions. And of course, I'm using this for training, so I have almost every error that you can have, so I can train people on errors. So don't pay attention to all the errors you're gonna see. Okay, and you're gonna hit the next part. You go there and you hit revenue management. Excuse me, I'm just coming out with a cold, I think. So uh, this part is the edits, and that's the part that some people are having an issue with. They need an update. Uh, but the part that before they submit to the clearinghouse, allow some of you, not a lot, some of you were used to print a report to verify. So you click on here and you hit the detail report, and that report's supposed to show you everything you're sending. And even that there's a 10 going out on this claim, you look at your report and you find it empty. You don't find an ICD 9 or 10. And that's a bug. That bug has been fixed in Lytec. They released the update for Lytec. It's a service pack, and we're waiting for the service pack from Medisoft. So if you need an update and you don't have MicroEye support and you want to do your update yourself, is even that we have a password. So if you go to downloads and you go to software updates, so I'm going to show you on Lytec since the Lytec release is out. So we go to Lytec, and the password here is actually like this. See this 24/7? That's the password. We had to protect it because Google were complaining that we putting executable file with no protection. You're not supposed to really do your own updates, but I don't want you to think that we holding you hostage unless you have support that we're not going to give you anything. If you can do it yourself, you're welcome. So this is Lytec billing, and this is the service pack for 2014, and this is the service pack for 2015. No, I don't see the service pack for 2015. We haven't posted it yet, so uh, we need to post that. So it doesn't show me here. So it will be listed here as a service pack. So if you don't have your service pack, and the same thing to check your version of your Lytec or your Medisoft, the same thing as anything else. You just open your program, you click on help and about. Every program is like that, and it just tells you the latest version. So there will be a service pack for Medisoft that will fix that report issue. It's not a big deal because you still go as IC10. So I don't see any more hands. So if you have no more hands, I'd like to ask you a survey. Okay, I see another hand coming. Josefa?
Yes, sir, Robert. A quick question. I know that in transactions you can put up to 12 diagnosis code.
Yes.
How does the clearinghouse handle that? Do they still just take 4 after 1st October, or has that been increased in any ways?
Excellent question. Okay. So really, each transaction line doesn't matter if you 12 diagnoses or 6 diagnoses or 8 diagnoses. Your each transaction has to have no more than 4 pointers. So if I have more, let me just put more diagnoses here. I'm just going to pick up any diagnosis. Okay. See here, you have 5 diagnoses. You can't do that. You have to uncheck one of them. Now the next line can have a different 4. So it allowed you to have 12 diagnoses per claim, but only 4 diagnoses per CPT code. And that's not a limitation of Medisoft or Lytec or Greenway. It's a limitation of the industry. So no more than 4 diagnoses per CPT code. The claim can have more than 4 diagnoses, up to 12, but not each line item. In Lytec, there's
now if
yeah. Go ahead.
On the same line, if let's say there are 6 diagnosis code and you have only 4 pointers, will it actually show those other two codes as well on the claim when it sends out, but doesn't have an assigned pointer to it, or it will just not print
Okay,
diagnosis, whatever, the six
actually,
and the six?
a great question. The best way to explain this to you is I'm going to show you in a paper form. Okay, so let me show you this on paper. So if
Okay.
and in a way, by the way, you cannot print or send ICD-10 on an old form because that's another common mistake that people call with questions on. You have to use the O212 format. So if you don't do O212 format, the ICD-10 will not even show on your screen, your paper. So the best way for me to show you this, the 12 diagnoses will be listed as following. It will be from A to I. Okay. Then on each line, it's going to be A, B, C, E, or the next one could be E, F, G, H. So that's where the 4 pointers are. And even see on the paper, there's only room for 4 pointers. So here you can have up to 12 options, but each line will have its own pointer. So this is going how it's going to go out electronically or on paper. So paper, when people see it on paper, they get it because it makes a lot more sense. Here I have only 4 places for holder for 4 letters. You have 12 options here, but each CPT line can have only 4 options. Does that make sense?
Correct. Correct, correct. The reason why I ask you, because we are a pediatric office and we do vaccination plus any normal code. So by the time we have more than four very easily, and nowadays the insurance company for incentive purposes or HEDIS measures, they need additional V codes. So then it becomes a little tricky of which ones to include and which ones not to include in the pointer.
Yes, yeah, I understand. Some incentives you need to send more than 4 diagnoses, but that's more than 4 diagnoses per claim, not per CPT code.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much.
thank you. Thanks for great question. Okay, any other questions? Okay, Adam say I have a question. So Adam, let me see if I can unmute you. Adam. Okay. Yeah, if you want to ask a question, just raise the hand icon because I can easily find you because I have so many people on this call. So Adam, okay, Adam, you're on the air. Adam,
Hi, hello.
hi.
I don't know if anybody else had this problem, but when I was mapping out the codes, it did not produce the ICD-10 side by side with the ICD-9 code. Instead, it kept the old ICD-9 code, produced a duplicate of the ICD-9 codes, and then mapped out the duplicates.
Okay, which product you doing? Medisoft or
Version
Lytec?
20.
Medisoft version
Medisoft.
20. Okay. And how did you do your mapping? Did you use an Encoder Pro or you used the utility inside Medisoft?
The utility in Medisoft.
Okay. So just like I was saying before, it doesn't matter if it duplicates it or not. So when you look at your diagnosis, sorry about that. If I have 813.42, so notice this is a duplicate, so it has an A to it. Really what matters, it's what matters in here and what matters in here. This code can be anything anybody can come up with. I don't care if it's I have an ophthalmologist that put there the description of the glaucoma. Let's say she was making glaucoma codes. She put abbreviation of the type of glaucoma. That's fine. I don't care what this is here. As long as you set up your tool to use, you're not using the code, you're using either a 10 or a 9, then what's really matter, it's what's in here if you're sending a 9 and what's in here if you're sending a 10. I don't care what's in it. Does that answer your question?
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
the old ICD-9 codes can remain in the system. They don't need to be set to inactive.
No, 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 no. Don't touch. Okay, are you talking about the same screen here I'm talking about? Or you're talking about
No,
your old one?
the
Okay,
this
if
yes.
you use an old one, let me take you here. If you use an old one, your screen's supposed to turn red. Okay, so if you see, notice here, this screen is a red. That's
Yes.
because this screen here doesn't have a 10 here. Now, the most dangerous situation I see in where there was a bug in the software on an older version of 19, there was a bug where here is a 9, here is a 9, and here is also a 9. This is, and usually the description is empty with that bug. If you have support, call us, we'll fix this bug for you. But if there's anything in the 10 here, you're not going to get the red flag and you're not going to be sending a 10. Because it will, the bug will repeat the same ICD-9 in here. And if that happens, you can, this is going to cause a problem for you because you're not going to get the red flag and you're not sending a 10 because you're sending whatever's in here. If whatever is in here is not the correct code, junk in is junk out. Okay? So if you,
Okay.
okay? So be careful with that one because,
Thank you.
yeah, that one can hurt. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Adam. The next question is from Lena. Lena? Okay, I guess you don't have a microphone, Lena. Okay, Lena? Okay, your microphone is not working. Then the next one is Carrie. Carrie?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, you're on the air.
Yes, I'm using Medisoft version 19,
Okay.
and we have a lot of problems with Anthem in Indiana, as you might know, because of that data breach. So I'm not convinced it's the software, but I'm getting rejections on the basis of my modifiers. I'm a psychiatrist, so I have an E&M code -25 and a psych add-on code -59. Anthem is rejecting the modifiers. I didn't think that that was part of this process.
Yeah, what code are you talking about here?
The modifiers for a CPT code.
Give me the CPT code.
Let's say a 99213-25, and with the psych add-on of a 90838-59. And I'm not having this problem with CMS, and I did not have this problem with Anthem before October 1st, but now Anthem is rejecting my CPT code modifiers.
Do me a favor. You said -25. Is your CPT code here has a -25?
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that. You cannot.
No, it's in the modifier. No, it's not under procedure, but it's under modifier. It's under the allowed M1.
But do me a favor, if you open up your code and look at it here, does it have a -25 here?
No.
Okay, so there's not a -25. Okay.
No, the -25 is under the default modifier where it's supposed to be.
Okay, so it's in the separate field by itself.
Right.
Okay, and what diagnosis are you using?
In fact, my ICD-10s are getting rejected too. I wonder if I have that bug.
Now, is your diagnosis has anything to do with the left shoulder, right shoulder, left arm, right arm, or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
It just has to do with telling, and again, Medicare is not rejecting. It's just telling them that you have a psych add-on code and additional procedure linked to that E&M.
Who's your clearinghouse?
Capario.
Capario?
MDion.
Okay. All right. Why don't you? Did you call them?
I have an email out to them, but CMS is not rejecting it. It's only Anthem.
It's only Anthem. Did you call Anthem and ask them?
Oh, I guess I might hear from them in 6 months.
Okay. If the insurance company, they're either playing games or...
Oh, you bet they are.
Okay, or the software has bugs in it and they start rejecting because of situation like that. I don't know the answer. I can't really control Anthem. I'm not a coder. I don't know when you need to add a modifier 25 and when you don't need to. And I'm never you're never gonna see me talking about
Well, I'm a coder, and I was a Medicare physician advisor for many years. I'm pretty expert at this stuff, and I do have reason to believe that Anthem is playing games.
Okay, and
I'm just wondering if anyone else has had this experience.
yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think this is what I was afraid of when commercial insurance company don't honor the safe harbor, and either intentionally or unintentionally start rejecting you because of keeping your money, the most obvious reason. What you need to do, you need to make noise with this.
Well, I have attorneys involved. Another thing Anthem is doing, if anyone out there bills Anthem Medicaid in Indiana in particular, you have to tell Medisoft it is not Medicaid. And the drop-down menu, when you set up your insurance company, you have to tell Medisoft it is Blue Cross Blue Shield, even though it's Medicaid. And I think that is absolutely dirty rotten, because all my claims with Anthem Medicaid started to get denied in February until I recently discovered I have to tell them it's not Medicaid but Blue Cross Blue Shield. They are dirty rotten.
I'm not following you. So you have Anthem. I'm just going to take anybody here. Let's say I take this insurance company. You're talking about this one of those screens here?
Right.
Okay, so you're talking about one of those screens here, and let's say under option, which screen is it that tells you what type of insurance? This type. Are you talking about this?
Right, exactly. You have to pick Blue Cross Blue Shield and not Medicaid. Whereas prior to April 1st, if you wanted to bill Anthem Medicaid in Indiana, you had to check off Medicaid.
And how is controlled by Medisoft?
Well, then you would right there where you just changed it. You just changed Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay, so
but if you want to bill Anthem Medicaid in Indiana, you have to change it from Medicaid to Blue Cross Blue Shield as of April 1st. And of course, they're not telling anybody that.
Yeah, Medisoft doesn't control that in any shape or form. They'll let you add your own code, you add your own name of insurance company, whatever it is. Then when you find out what type it should be, you have a list of the types and you pick it. Medisoft will never, or any other software, will never link the name to the type.
Then what is it there for?
I'm sorry?
If it's not being linked to any other field, what is it doing?
Oh, so you're saying that it's not available here as a field, as an option?
No, I'm just saying if you're saying it doesn't make a difference, it made a difference for me once I changed it from Medicaid to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and I got paid.
I think you misunderstood me. What I'm saying is it doesn't make a difference what the name here is. You can have whatever name you want, and or whatever name you're billing to, not whatever name you want. And this option here is not controlled by any software. So either Medisoft or Lytec or Greenway, whatever, you pick what type of plan it is, and that affects your electronic claim. So no software is going to link the name you're doing to the type.
No, I'm not talking about the name. I'm talking right there where it says type. My Anthem claims prior to April 1st, if they were Medicaid, I had to call it Medicaid right there where you are. But after April 1st, an Anthem Medicaid claim had to be labeled Blue Cross Blue Shield or it would not get paid.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
So I'm just saying if Anthem was willing to do that, I wouldn't be surprised if they're willing to reject CPT code modifiers that are otherwise perfectly good for CMS, because I'm not having that with Medicare.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the feedback. That's why I'm having those sessions.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if anyone else, is billing Anthem in Indiana, which is pretty much the monopoly here. That's the primary payer in Indiana. I'm just wondering if anyone else has had this problem.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's why we're having those sessions, so everybody can give me their feedback. So I don't see any more hands. If you don't have any more hands, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to post the next session, and I need to hear feedbacks from you. We want to keep informing each other as quickly as possible. If you can't wait for the session and you need something that I don't cover during those sessions, please go to microeyes.com and go to the forum here. Make sure you have a login, and when you go to the forum, just go to the IC10 section and start posting your questions. The other thing I will be doing is I will be posting. Okay, I will be posting your this seminar somewhere here. So let me show you where I'm going to post it. So when you go here under the both Medisoft and Lytec, when you click on the white paper, I will post it as I will add it as another recording like this. So when you go to the white paper for either Medisoft or Lytec, I have here the IC10 talk recording. So I will add it. So this is the recording from one of the previous time. I will add it. I will add a second. I will keep adding. So this way you guys can go back and if something I did not cover this time but cover last time. Thank you so much for your business. I will keep doing those meetings until we don't need them anymore. I need your feedback, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to join me today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.